Lamina, please, don't start.
I can't help it. I just can't believe this has happened.
Well, it has, and it's over and done with. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner we can all get on with our lives.
Yeah, but to resign as chief of the police, you...
I had no choice. Isn't it time we went to pick up Robin?
Yes, I go get my purse.
Lamina.
Yes?
Just, like, cheer up, maybe, because, you know, it's hard for Robin, and she's upset, and we've got to be strong for her.
All right.
And not be another reporter. Oh. Hello.
Hi.
I thought you were a reporter.
Haven't you had enough?
Yes, I certainly have. Perhaps one or two will come by for a post-mortem.
You made the headlines again.
Oh, wonderful.
I came by to see if it was a big mistake.
You know what they say. Press never lies.
I'm sorry to have this happen after losing Duke.
That's just for starters. They will, just as soon as your yesterday's news.
All the comforts of home, huh?
If we go to trial, they'll be hounding us for days. There he is, the toughest prosecutor in Canada.
How did we get so lucky?
Oh, this is a high-profile case. Every prosecutor in Canada was lined up for a shot at us.
I'm worried.
I'm worried, too. If only we could have convinced Camellia not to testify. We certainly don't need her testimony.
They're determined to have their day in court. Wild horses wouldn't keep them from the witness stand.
Just hope it doesn't backfire.
I wouldn't trust it.
Hello, Janet. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
And poor Camellia and Duke, how are they?
They're glad to be getting this over with.
Can imagine. What's their line of defense? Is Camellia going, Camellia is going to be charged with murder, don't you think? And also, the paper have said that Duke may be held as an accessory in 2 murders. Is that true?
I really wouldn't know what the newspapers are saying.
What is Camelia's state of mind?
Well, she's concerned, of course, but taking it in stride.
Well, I mean, is she all there?
I beg your pardon.
Well, the word is that she has had another relapse,
Camellia, I'm going to ask you one final time. Do you still insist on giving evidence in this hearing?
Yes.
But don't do it to save yourself. It's really not necessary.
The prosecutor doesn't have nearly enough evidence to take you and Duke to trial. If we stop playing right into his hands, he doesn't stand a chance of winning this hearing.
That's not the point.
The point is to keep you and Camellia free.
No, it's more than that. Camellia wants to bring everything out in the open. Perhaps the lies and the half-baked truths have gone on for too long, and I won't let her go through this on her own.
I want to clear the slate. Can't you see it's the only way I can rid myself of this nightmare?
You think the witness stand is a soapbox? They're going to march right up there and tell their story for all the world to see?
The prosecutor's not going to let them get a word out about their defense.
He's a shark. He's going to tear Duke and Camellia to ribbons.
Yes, he will. At least we have our ace in the hole.
Dr. Champlain.
Yeah. Don't call Champlain unless you see it's absolutely hopeless. What he has to offer may save Camellia legally, but it will destroy her emotionally.
Yeah, I understand. It is comforting, though, to know we've got a little something extra up our sleeve for the prosecutor. Can't be too prepared in court.
Yeah.
All rise. Order in the court. His Honor Judge Clayton Dernier presides. You may be seated.
May I remind both sides, this is a hearing. Our purpose this afternoon is to determine whether or not there is sufficient evidence to hold the defendants over for a trial. The prosecution may present its case.
Thank you, Your Honor. If it please the court, the prosecution contends there is ample evidence to try both Camellia Mackay and Duke Lavery. The crime we are addressing today, which involves both defendants to varying degrees, is the most serious of all, murder. There is no question the act was committed. There's no question who committed it. There's no question that it was deliberately covered up. All that's left of the court is to see that justice is served and the guilty punished to the extent of the law.
Don't mind telling you that I'm pretty scared for the future.
You're not thinking about leaving Port Charles?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
No.
Yeah, well, what's left for us here? I mean, even if I had reasonable job prospects, I've got Robin to think of. Oh, I've made such a mess of her life.
What happened wasn't your fault.
Yeah, but I should have prevented it. You know? I'm determined to make it up to her. She must be feeling so insecure.
You know, whatever you decide or wherever you go, if you and Robin ever need anything,
I won't forget about you.
I'll always be here for you. I just wish I could say the same thing about Duke.
Your Honor, the prosecution grants its case is something less than airtight. However, the facts surrounding this bizarre event and its equally curious aftermath demand a full accounting before a jury empowered to convict the guilty. I'm confident this hearing will support that contention, and the defendants will be remanded for trial. Thank you, Your Honor.
Does the defense wish to make an opening statement?
Simply that we wholeheartedly agree with the prosecution, Your Honor. There is no case against the defendants. And to prove it, they're prepared to take a stand.
You are aware, Mr. Kincaid, your clients do not have to testify.
Yes, Your Honor, but they insist on speaking in their own defense.
You may call your first witness.
The defense would like to call Miss Camellia Mackay to the stand, please.
Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear that the testimony you will give before this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
State your name.
Camellia Mackay.
Camellia, I appreciate how painful this is for you. And on behalf of the court, I'd like to thank you for putting yourself through this in order to establish the truth. 4 years ago, Evan Jerome was killed. Could you please tell the court exactly what happened that night?
There was a ball that evening. I had danced some with Duke and some with Evan. After a while, I just grew tired and I went up to my room to rest. Evan followed me up to my room. Before I could stop him, he broke into my room, and I demanded to know what he was doing there. He said that he wanted me. I refused. But he said that he'd have me one way or the other. And he attacked me. He threw me down on the bed, and then we struggled. And he hit me several times. I tried screaming, but I tried to fight back. He was too strong for me. And Evan tried to rape me.
And then what happened?
I didn't know what to do. I tried pushing him away from me, but he came back at me. And so I just lashed out at him, and the only thing I could find was a candlestick, and I hit him as hard as I could. I didn't mean to kill him. I just wanted him to get away from me. Oh, God, I would do anything to have Evan alive today. I killed a man. I'll never forget it.
No more questions at this time,
Miss Mackay, are you all right? Would you like a short recess?
No, please. I'd like to get this over with.
Your witness.
A very impressive performance, Miss Mackay. Both here on the stand and at your father's house 4 years ago.
What do you mean?
You mentioned there was a ball that night Evan Jerome was murdered.
Yes.
And you said you danced with Mr. Jerome.
Yes.
How many times? Did you spend the entire evening in your victim's arms, Miss Mackay?
No.
But you did dance with him more than once.
Yes.
Did Evan force his attentions on you?
Not downstairs, no.
On the contrary, you actively encouraged him, didn't you?
No. No.
You flirted with Evan Jerome all evening. You did everything in your power to seduce him, didn't you?
It was...
And the poor man snapped at your bait, never realizing how much your charms would be fatal.
It was just a game.
A deadly game, Miss Mackay.
But I didn't mean it to end that way.
Well, then how did you mean it to end? Surely you didn't want your family to know that you had slept with a man who was the rival of their deadly
I didn't
enemy.
sleep with him.
You knew you couldn't let Jerome breathe a word of your one-night stand, didn't you? So you silenced him.
No!
Can't you do something to stop trying to...
Your Honor, we strongly object to this demeaning line of questioning.
Your Honor, I have no more questions for Miss Mackay. I think her testimony speaks for itself. I think her testimony speaks for itself.
Well, the hell with the people. You're the best police chief this town has ever had.
Oh, come on, Frisco. I was certainly the least appreciated. Do you know, I was a public official, and I had to answer to the people of Port Charles, and I got some of the questions wrong.
Well, how are you supposed to trust the judgment of idiots?
I lost their trust, totally. Without that, I couldn't do my job.
Have you heard how Duke's case is going?
No. I don't care to hear either.
Aren't you the least bit curious?
No, I'm not. I don't care. I see. Oh. What's the matter? You've been crying. What is it?
Just a little.
What is it, darling?
It's just that all my friends are so mean to me. Even my best friends. I don't know what to do, Mommy. They say such awful things about you and Uncle Duke.
Oh. This is why I don't care what's going on in Lorleanne.
So help you God.
I do.
State your name.
Duke Lavery.
Duke, you and your father discovered Camellia after her near rape, didn't you?
Yes.
How did you happen to come to her room?
We heard her screams.
Well, would you tell the court what you found when you got there?
Evan was dead. Camellia, she was in shock. She looked half dead. She was badly bruised, and her clothes were torn.
Did she say anything to you and your father?
She said Evan had tried to rape her.
Did she admit killing him?
No.
No.
She said she had hit him with a candlestick. At that point, I don't think she knew Evan was dead.
Well, tell me, whose decision was it to conceal his death?
My father suggested it, and I went along with him.
Why?
He said Camellia would be killed when Evan's family found out what she'd done. And others would die, too.
Others?
In a mob war. But that wasn't the only reason I went along with my father. I was worried about Camellia.
Worried? How?
As I said, at the time she was in shock. My father felt that a police interrogation would be more than she could bear. You have to understand, Camellia was always a very sensitive and highly strung child. If she'd been interrogated by the police, it would have pushed her over the edge, possibly forever. And we didn't want that to happen.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Your witness.
Mr. Lavery, you didn't actually witness the alleged attack, did you?
What do you mean?
I mean, what you were led to believe was an attempted rape. Did you or did you not see it?
Well, no, of course I didn't see it happen.
Then, for all you know, it could have happened the other way around, couldn't it? Miss Mackay could have attacked Evan.
Hardly.
This court isn't interested in hearsay, Mr. Lavery. We're charged with determining facts. And the fact is, you haven't the slightest idea what happened in Miss Mackay's bedroom on the night Evan Jerome was murdered, have you?
I believe Camellia.
Answer the question.
I couldn't say exactly what went on.
Then, for all we know, Miss Mackay could have set Evan up, couldn't she?
Your Honor, once again, I must object to this line of questioning.
I withdraw the question, Your Honor.
You may proceed, but let us leave supposition to the detectives, shall we? And as you have just been reminding the defendant, we are charged with determining facts.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Lavery, you admitted that you did not know what went on in Miss Mackay's bedroom at the time in question. Did you happen to notice her with Evan earlier in the evening?
Yes.
Will you describe to this court how your sister behaved toward Evan at that time? Say, for example, when they were dancing together, was she frowning and obviously ill at ease?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Let me repeat the question. How did Miss Mackay behave toward Evan on the dance floor?
She was behaving very seductively.
Seductively? You mean to tell this court Miss Mackay was trying to lure Evan into her bed? Your Honor, what are you to make of a woman who seduces an innocent man, then cries rape and kills him?
This court is now in recess.
Here we are, Rabboni. A nice glass of milk and your favorite cookies. Enjoy them.
What do you say?
Thanks.
You are very welcome.
What say you that we go away together for a little while, just the two of us?
Well, what about school?
I'll speak to the principal, get you some time off. Then, when you get back, all your friends will have forgotten, and they won't be so mean to you. Hmm?
That might work. Can we really go?
Yeah. I invited you, didn't I? Go and get the atlas and we'll choose where we'll go.
How far away is Kathmandu?
Kathmandu? Turn left at the light. Hello?
I wanted to see how you and Robin were.
We're fine.
Have you got a minute to talk?
We've got nothing to talk about.
I hoped we might discuss the future.
We don't have a future. And whatever lies ahead for me is my business. And I hope that you and Camellia are cleared.
You know how little my freedom means to me, and I can't share it with you. Dan, I've got to get back into the unit.
Don't call me here again, all right?
Who was that on the phone?
No one important. Come on. Let's see about these travel plans. Kathmandu, you say?
We're in trouble. Well, why don't we just throw ourselves on the mercy of the court and beg the judge to discount all the testimony?
Cook and Camellia really destroyed their case.
Yeah, and drop the prosecutors right into his lap.
Yes, I have. I just came to...
All right, Champlain. Deal with him just the way I told you.
Yeah, I just hope the judge lets him testify.
One way to find out.
Your Honor, the defense would like to call another witness to the stand, if we may.
What's this? Who is it you wish to call?
Dr. Louis Champlain, the director of the Maple Leaf Sanitarium, the institution where Camellia Mackay was hospitalized.
Your Honor, this is highly unusual. The defense case is absolutely...
This case is highly unusual and may well require unorthodox methods. I know of Dr. Champlain. His work is well known in Canada. The court will hear his testimony. The witness will please take the stand.
Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand.
I'm not so sure this is a good idea.
Except there was a last resort, Duke. If you and Camellia walk, it's going to be because of his testimony.
I do.
State your name.
Dr. Louis Champlain.
All right, Dr. Champlain, when did you first meet Camellia Mackay?
Approximately 4 years ago, her father and brother brought her to Maple Leaf Home.
And what sort of shape was she in?
She was in a deep state of shock.
Objection, Your Honor. The defendant's condition at the time she was introduced to Dr. Champlain could have resulted from any number of different stimuli, such as having murdered her lover.
But, Your Honor, the doctor is merely describing the psychological, emotional state of the defendant at the time. He's in no way inferring what caused the shock.
Your Honor, if I may...
Please, Dr. Champlain.
I know for a fact that Camellia was attacked by Mr. Jerome. When she arrived at the home, she relived the entire experience for me. She told me exactly what happened that night.
You realize you're contradicting the defendant's sworn statement to the police. Both Miss Mackay and Mr. Lavery reported she suffered a partial amnesia which caused her to completely forget her bedroom rendezvous.
Exactly. What was crystal clear to Camellia at first gradually began to blur and then vanish altogether. Within days, she couldn't remember Evan Jerome's name, the man who had tried to rape her.
Your Honor, this is still hearsay.
No.
I'm afraid it is, Dr. Champlain, unless you can give direct proof of your conversation with the defendant on the night she relived the events in question, short of a tape recording.
Oh, I have that tape, Your Honor. I routinely record the assertions of my patients. And on it, she describes what happened that night with Mr. Jerome.
Your Honor, this tape is clearly inadmissible.
Your Honor, justice demands that this tape be heard.
Gentlemen, I will hear arguments from both sides. Should this court listen to Dr. Champlain's tape or not? Silence. Since Miss Mackay has given her permission, it is the decision of this court to allow Dr. Champlain to play his tape. But it will not be placed in evidence. After I hear the recording, I will make a determination what weight it shall carry in these deliberations. You may proceed, Dr. Champlain.
What happened to you a few nights ago, Camellia?
I don't know where to start.
Wherever you feel comfortable, I'd just like to know what brought you here.
I suppose that none of this would have happened if I hadn't fallen in love with Duke. The time we spent together was so perfect. We were so happy. I never never thought it would end like this.
Like what, Camellia?
Father held a ball at the house several nights ago. And Duke told me then he said we were brother and sister. I didn't believe him. I thought he wanted to get rid of me or something. But he seemed as hurt about it as I was. Duke told me that there could never be anything between us. That it was just fortunate that we found out when we did. That I couldn't truly be his.
And this hurt you?
Yes. And I was so confused. I felt that Duke was to blame somehow. All I know is I wanted to hurt him back. That's why I came on to Evan. I flirted with him shamelessly. I don't know what got into me. But then I realized what I was doing. I didn't care for Evan. I was just using him. So I thanked him for the dances, and I went upstairs to my room. I didn't know that he would follow me. I was resting on my bed when Evan broke in. He'd been drinking, and he was loud and crude. And he said terrible things to me. He threatened to force himself on me. I told him to get out. It's when he hit me. I screamed, but he just kept hitting me, and then he started tearing off my clothes, and I tried to fight him, but he was just so strong. I had never been with a man before. He hurt me, Doctor. And then he touched me, and he kept hitting me and touching me. I didn't know. I thought Evan was going to kill me. Oh, God, I wish he had. Why wasn't I the one to die? Oh, God.
So, you are going away with Robin?
Yeah. Thought we'd take a little trip.
Oh, I think that's the best thing in the world for you and Robin.
What are you going to do?
Oh, I go over my cousin's house. Don't worry about me. Oh, it's good for you to be with your daughter at last for a little while.
It may not be all we need.
What do you mean?
Well, would you be very upset if the three of us had to leave Port Charles for good? I mean, you're the only one that has family here.
You and Robin are my family. Wherever you go, Philomena goes. I only want what's best for you. You should know about that.
Yeah. I sort of suspected as much.
Oh, I wish I could get you and Duke together again. Oh, no matter what you say, Anna, I believe that that would be the best thing for you and Robin. But I cannot make a miracle. If I could make a miracle, I would not be here. I would be at that hearing with Duke.
This court is now in recess. I shall deliberate and return with my final decision as soon as possible.
All rise.
Well, what do you think? I don't know, Duke. I was trying to watch the judge's expression. I couldn't catch a glimpse of which way he was leaning.
And neither could I. I just hope to hell Camellia didn't go through all this for nothing.
All I can say is, right now, it could go either way.